So now that we got this cache saved out, I'm going to go ahead and alt click and drag to copy these. Okay, and I'm going to delete both of these and grab the velocity now into a separate cache. I'm doing a separate cache because I'm going to simulate this at a lower resolution, right? We don't need so much resolution for this velocity. We're going to use the velocity to drive a particle sim to simulate embers or sparks. So let's change the route as well, the file path here. So I'm going to do embers and embers for the names, and then dive into the simulation and change it. So in the smoke object, change this to 0.05, so that will simulate nice and quickly for us. Okay, and that's all good to go. So we got the velocity coming in, and then we will save that out and continue with that. There we go, that's all done. So let's drop a null to get that information out. So call this, oops, out embers, there we go. Visualize, oh sorry, not out embers, out vel. Okay, and let's go here and create a new geo. We'll call this embers, dive inside, object merge that velocity in, wherever it is. So in fire import, out val, there we go. And we also need some kind of source for the embers, right? So we can use this source. So I'm going to drop a, let's see, down here, I'm going to drop a null. So just before the volume. So let's say out, oops, out points. Do it like that, okay. And then we can use them as a source for our embers, right? So let's object merge those in. And we'll do a bit of work on them. So in the source, out points, there we go. Fantastic. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is just run a quick cache of the simulation on this, right? As you know, it is time dependent, and we're going to be doing some kind of keyframes, and it could be better to have this cached out. So just run a quick cache on that. So there's going to be 150 frames, and we'll keep it in sim source points, and give it the same name again, source points, there we go, dot dollar $f, oops, capital F, $f3 dot geo. Okay, so that shouldn't take too long. Save that out. There we go. So make sure I check for load from disk. Let me just make sure that we did that here as well. Yeah, we got loads from disk there as well. Perfect. So yeah, let's work on this source. So let me just give myself some more space. Spacebar and H. So yeah, we've got some attributes on here. I'm going to use this burn attribute. Okay, maybe move a few frames forward. Maybe we can visualize that like that. Great. We just change the lighting. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so let's isolate those the areas that are burning. So we'll use that attribute at burn. So we want to delete everything which has a value of less than 0.1 on the points. Okay, there we go. So that isolates the burning areas. ISO burn. Okay, and then let's start cleaning this up. So as these are going to be going into a simulation, it's good to deletes all the attributes and groups and things, because that can cause weird things happening in simulations. So, you know, always do your housekeeping. So delete all the attributes and group delete. There we go, and just delete all of them. So for all groups, great. And let's see. Okay. Now, so yeah, this is going to be. I'm going to be emitting points from these points, right, as it grows. But obviously, there's too much there. We don't need that many embers. So I'm going to add some noise to this. So I kind of want pockets, you know, moving around. So I'm going to use an attribute noise, and let's see. So we don't want colors there. Basically, I want, you know, blocks of white around. So I'm going to change this to be a 1D noise. I'll just give me black and white. Okay. Let's animate it so it's moving around a bit. If I remap this, that will give me some values between -1 and 1. Okay, if I turn this off, we've got values between 0 and 1, I think. Yeah. So yeah, with values between -1 and 1 gives me much more contrast, and it's easier to kind of remove those areas that I don't want, basically. The element size, let's make them a bit bigger, like that. Okay. I'm going to leave everything else as it is, and then I'm going to delete most of these points. So set this to points, and we're going to delete the color attribute now. So similar to what we did before with burn. So we're going to delete any color attribute which is less than 0.9. There we go. Okay, so we're just getting these little kind of blobs around now. And let's see, let's delete that. So this color attribute is a bit weird, since it's not a vector, because we set it to 1 dimension there. Okay, so we'll delete that as well. I could just copy this one, actually. Just alt click and drag, connect that up there. Great. And let's take a look at a pop network. Okay, we'll do it in SOPs now. Plug that into the first input. Let's go back to the first frame, and then I'm going to grab this, my velocity, and plug that into the second input. Okay, dive inside. Delete this merge, don't need that. So yeah, if you make a popnet, you know, it makes everything for you, saves a little bit of time. Let's see, if we press play, we won't see anything. Well, we'll see these points, but you know, I don't think we'll be emitting anything yet. So we want to source from first context geometry, where we don't have any surfaces, so we're going to use points. Okay, if we use all points, it's, you know, as it says, if we use points, then it's going to emit a certain amount to the points that we've got. So we should get some points now. There we go. You can see points, but they're not moving. There are no velocities acting on them. We could add gravity, but you know, I don't want to use gravity. What I do want to use is, what's going to use our velocity is a pop add vect by volumes. So drop that in. Okay, and if you remember, we connected the velocity into the second input, so second context geometry. Okay, the field is called vel. I want to do update velocity. I just find that works a bit better for me. Okay, let's just take a look, see if that's doing anything. So there we got some movement now, and you can start to see, you know, that it's got that kind of typical fluid dynamic to it. Okay, it's much more interesting than it just pops in with some noises added to it. Get these kind of flowing movements, which are quite nice. Great. Okay, so that's our basic setup. put together. Next we'll refine this and make it a bit more interesting.